Several scientific interrogations of the forms and nature of crime in the society have established a nexus between consumption of opioids or other hard drugs and carefree predisposition to breaking the law. Even apart from fueling crime, the toll that drug abuse takes on the mental health of its victims who otherwise would have been functional members of the society is another huge concern. What is the way out? While efforts by institutions set up by governments to tackle this menace have yielded considerable success in the area of intercepting supply chain and arresting offenders, the battle is still far from over, especially as there are some weak members of the society who still crave illicit and psychotropic substances, either to fight depression or gain unnatural advantage, thereby sustaining demand. With the firm belief that this is one of the battles the society cannot retreat from, this edition of Panorama takes another look at the drug war in Nigeria. Don't forget that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, a Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network for updates. I am Adeola Komiakere. Welcome to Panorama. The federal government has inaugurated 14-member Ministerial Task Force Expatriates Quota Administration Committee. Foreigners for Mutual Benefit is the tag for the inauguration performed by the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola. The policy will attract investments to the economy and also bring about high-level manpower development to ensure technology transfer, which is in line with the federal government agenda of providing 100 million jobs for Nigerians.
Foreigners in your territory, when it is well followed, it fosters healthy economic, social, and cultural relationship among nations. In addition, it provides an effective means of documenting foreigners' presence, their activities, and ensuring their protection and well-being.
Employing expatriates without approval from the ministry, obtaining fake permits for experts, not grooming Nigerians with non-commensurate remunerations were to labor also formed core parts of the committee mandate. The committee is expected to provide ways of boosting the country's economy through wealth creation, self-reliance, and provide job opportunities for Nigerians, especially the youthful population. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says the new Terminal 2 of the Murtala Mohammed Airport is a new experience for travelers in and out of Nigeria. The minister stated this shortly after a guided tour of the terminal. Anthony Fosen reports.
Murtala Mohammed International Airport is Nigeria's gateway, whose history dates back to pre-colonial times. The current international airport was built and commissioned about 40 years ago. Having gone through renovation and expansion, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed was on ground to have a first-hand feel of the new terminal, conducted around the check area, passport control, immigration desk, screening machines, the 6 boarding gates, and boarding areas.
This morning, we're going to go to the check-in area. In the check-in area, which is central screening to the boarding gates, to arrival, back to the stores.
With the state-of-the-art facilities, it can process 40 million passengers per annum. The minister, who is not a stranger to the ecosystem, said this administration is living up to its promises.
I must confess, this has been a very exciting experience for me. And what we went through this morning is comparable to any experience obtainable anywhere in the world.
He, however, cleared the air that the new terminal is not a replacement to Terminal 1.
Rather, it was built to complement it. That is why we were told during our tour that we could check in at one terminal and board at the other terminal. So there's a handshake between the two terminals.
It is the expectation that travelers in and out of Nigeria will have a smooth sail. In Lagos, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Now to fighting drugs and its intake, despite the increasing risk, evidence abounds that many desperate Nigerians are still enmeshed in the legal drug business. However, it is also heartwarming that the relevant authorities are now more than ever taking their responsibilities serious while taking bold steps to contain the drug scourge. John Adams takes a look at measures adopted by the relevant authorities in reducing drug menace in the society.
In recent time, there have been several seizures of illicit drugs by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, and the Nigeria Customs Service in different parts of the country. Not too long ago, the NDLEA intercepted at least 294,440 tablets of tramadol along with other illicit drugs in major operations in Delta, Bauchi, and the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. The availability of these drugs and the frequency with which they get circulated is a major threat to the sanity of the society.
Anybody who sees another person and shoots him must be feared by something. So those are some of the things within the society that are beginning to see as consequences.
However, nothing can be too much to fight the illicit drug business. As it stands, issues relating to drug abuse have increased the public health and security challenges.
Age bracket of 18 to 39, which are considered to be worst users. These are ages that should be working very frantically and very powerfully to develop the growth and development of a nation. And if those age brackets are venturing into drugs, that is to say, Nigeria is losing their workforce.
A future where our younger population is hooked on drugs is too scary to imagine, and as such, the campaign against drug abuse is one that should attract the attention of not only the government but all stakeholders in the Nigerian project. In Lagos, John Adams, NTA News.
Now joining me for more discussion on sustaining the drug war in Nigeria is the Commander of Narcotics, NDLEA, Lagos State Command, Barrister Kalis Alumona. Thank you for joining us in Panorama.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Okay, now we have seen how deep-seated the drug problem in Nigeria is. Now, kindly paint us a picture of how serious this is.
Thank you. Panorama is a national event as far as I'm concerned. So it's a good place to talk about what is already trying to pull Nigeria to its knees. It's a very serious situation. As we speak right now, we're making arrests everywhere. The new leadership of the agency, General Abuja, retired, wherever, has brought impetus to bear, and that is why we're seeing what we're seeing. It has been there. But now that we're looking critically at issues, we're seeing that it is even beyond what we imagined. From the seaports, importation of hard drugs is coming. Tramadol, cocaine, heroin, loud, that is cannabis sativa. From the seashores, everywhere. You know, Lagos is a land of excellence, and of aquatic splendor.
And in that wise, they are excellent in sneaking it in.
Exactly, because it's porous.
So where does NTA come in when they say the birds learn to fly without perching and the hunter must aim without miss?
That is exactly what we're doing. We are everywhere now. We have the marine unit, we have in the airport, we have in the land. Mine is in the land. Okay. Make sure that whatever comes in through the airport, whatever wants to sneak into Lagos and out of Lagos as a gateway state, we try to apprehend them.
All right. Now, if we were to describe the campaign against drug as a war, we will not be wrong, right?
We will not be wrong.
Now, so at what point or theaters should the society, be fighting this menace?
There is this slang: if you see something, say something. Mm-hmm. But insofar as we are so busy trying to cover up our brothers, our neighbors, our friends, it will continue going on. So the society is enjoined to look critically at each person. You want to take a title as a chief? Let us check your background. What have you been doing? How did the money come? But these days we don't care. All we care is let the money flow and speak for us.
Okay. Now, the NDLEA, through collaborations with other agencies, has made so many seizures across so many supply channels. Have these interceptions, seizures, and arrests really helped to stem the tide?
Very seriously. Let us take, for example, the Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Police, the Civil Defense, the Army. They are all making huge seizures, especially the Navy, who uses there's this one they call, is it Eagle Eye or whatever? Yeah. They'll be able to monitor the seas and see these agents and merchants of death. They seize it and they bring in tons. In tons. Like about 4 days ago, we just went to receive from the customs 3.8 tons of cannabis seized from coming in from the West Coast. Immediately I arrived Lagos, November ending last year. I was able to seize at Eco Atlantic 12 tons of cannabis coming from Eco Atlantic. It didn't reach 2 months again, I seized another 8 tons. And that is how they are coming in. Tramadol is just over everywhere there. Methamphetamine is the one that is coming in now in a manner that we do not, if we don't work on it, it will be worse.
Okay, so what really baffles one is that on a daily basis you make arrests and those people are being prosecuted, but it doesn't seem to deter others from doing the same illicit business.
Yes.
Who's responsible for that?
Illicit, everything is responsible. Everything. The society is responsible, leadership is responsible, and then greed is responsible. Then poverty is responsible. Because when you are poor, you can easily be lured into anything. And you gladly go for it. If you have not had your meal for more than a week, somebody say, come and take 300,000 to do this. You will not think twice. So what we're talking about, that the impetus we have in continuation of drugs, despite the dangers we're seeing, is 1, we need good leadership. 2, we need good neighborliness. And then 3, the family life must also become a thing of issue, because the family has almost failed. Now, the general has brought to bear a situation where we do not just face only the supply reduction, we also deal with the demand reduction. And he has instituted what we call WADA, War Against Drug Abuse, which will enable us to go from the federal, the President, General Buhari, has magnanimously launched it, and that was last year. And we're cascading it down from states to the local governments, to the communities, to the religious leaders, to local leaders, and to the families, so that everybody will be aware of the dangers of what we're talking about. And then it will become like a slang for everybody. Drugs is just not good for you. Stop doing drugs, including trafficking and drug abuse.
Okay, Barrister Callis, hold that thought. We will continue this discussion, but we need to take a break right now. Panorama, we'll be back right after. To stay.
hear the call of change. Stand up, Nigeria. Change is here and it's going to stay. Change begins with you. Oh, we go. Close to let a change begin from within. Look at you, okay, ruler. Change begins with you and me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me.
Thank you for staying with us in Panorama, coming to you live from the Lagos Network Center of the NTA. I still have with me Barrister Kali Solomona of the NDLEA, and we've been talking about the fight against drug. Now, sir, can we really say we have the level of anger or a sense of repulsion against drug abuse among, members of a society? Even though, how is that impacting the campaign against drug abuse?
Yes, we have not gotten there yet. Because most of the time, our boys will go out to mop up these drugs and the community or whatever will attack. In Lagos Island, early this year, they attacked us, shooting like Rambo, but God was with us because we are doing a humanitarian job. So we didn't lose a life. But then, that's what we're saying. Across the states in Nigeria, most communities are not aware that the people that perhaps are trying to be godfathers are definitely agents of death. So when you want to arrest them, they will try to resist on their behalf. It happened at Alabarago. It happened so many other places. At Akala, we always go there. 2 nights ago, we went there with over 100 because we know they will attack. That was how we're able to. But what we're doing now is going beyond the issue of let us just catch them.
Okay.
We want to let the public to know that if this drug issue does not affect you directly, it will affect your relation, it will affect your friend, it will affect your colleague in the office. Say, for example, you train your child very well. You make sure he observes all the rules in the house. Then he will go out. He will mix with other children that are not trained. There will be peer group pressure. They will merge. Now, who suffers for it? You who have done your job. Now, that child that was not trained well will go and abuse drugs. And it will block your car, bring your money or your life.
Exactly.
Do you understand? Kidnappings everywhere. Because they are no longer feeling conscious of the normal things. Value system is no longer zero in their life. All they know now is take the drug, get the money, and continue with life.
All right. In all of this, what is the role of enlightenment campaign? Are you doing enough?
Yeah, that's why
other agencies doing enough.
They are. That is why we are collaborating with several agencies, non-governmental organizations. The war against drug abuse is not just an NDLEA work. That's why we want to bring it to the state government. Like recently, the State Drug Control Committee, the chairman has requested the governors to make the first ladies the chair lady, so that they will be able to, as a mother, they will know what we're talking, appeal to the sensibilities of mothers, and then teach them. We go from school to school, from churches to mosques. We are collaborating with the road transport workers. We are collaborating with other well-meaning professional bodies to tell them drug abuse is not for NDLA to fight alone. We also go to other paramilitary and military to teach their own that drug abuse is bad. Because as a uniformed personnel, if you do not become conscious of that fact, you may use that uniform to abuse drug to your own detriment.
Okay, thank you very much, Barrister Kali Solomona, for enlightening Nigerians on the dangers of drug abuse, and what will the NDLEA explain with other sister agencies? Thank you for your time on Panorama. Time will not permit us because we know that drug issue is a very serious issue in Nigeria, and we hope that the punitive measures will be more stiff this time around, because the opinion of people is that it is not safe. That's why more people are delving into it. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. Before I take my leave, let me leave this number with the public. Okay. As I said, if you see something, say something. The chairman has left us with a number that you can call in. If you see a drug trafficker, if you see somebody who is a victim of drugs, who needs help, you can call into this number, 0800 10 20 30 40.
Very simple.
Very simple.
080 10 20 30 40.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can send in by WhatsApp. If you see anything, send it in there. It's anonymous. We'll work on it, and your identity will be generally protected.
Thank you very much, Barrister Kalis Elimona, once again for your time.
Thank you.
Moving on to other issues, climate change is a burning issue on the global scene. Carbon emission is one of the culprits that aggravate extreme weather conditions, and the federal government has taken measures to address the problem through the introduction of a global clean tech innovation program. Kenya DBC reports that the 3-year project is in collaboration with UNIDO and other key players in the clean tech ecosystem.
Climate innovation and entrepreneurship is set to play a critical role in climate action by supporting the transition towards sustainable economies, as well as create room for new green industries. However, the emergence, development and deployment of clean tech innovation is faced with several challenges. Some of these obstacles the Global Clean Tech Innovation Program seeks to resolve through direct support, development and strengthening of clean tech innovations and entrepreneurship ecosystem.
Are working with them to try and support them in order for them to scale up their business, try to find and to market their solutions. So really the idea is supporting entrepreneurs, clean tech entrepreneurs, young innovators with bright ideas that can support the energy transition to access the market.
Anything that has to do with innovation seeks to help and promote and support young people. So it's always good to have programs like this, like the Global Clean Tech Innovation.
Net zero carbon emission by 2060 is what the federal government aims to achieve, and Nigeria is one of the countries where Global Clean Tech Innovation Program implementation is underway. The country is creating an enabling environment for SMEs, young entrepreneurs and innovators to thrive, as the Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation is throwing its full weight behind the project.
It's bringing, repositioning the young people on the path to green growth globally. That's major advantage.
If we're able to do that, not only are we going to see bigger companies that can help to contribute to creating jobs, but we're also going to see companies that can help to innovate and perhaps change the future of energy.
The Global Clean Tech Innovation Program is expected to focus on energy efficiency, renewable energy, green buildings, transportations, amongst others. In Lagos, Kende Adebisi, NTA News.
Let's now join our sports desk for details from the world of sports.
The Nigerian Football Federation has confirmed the replay of the 2022 IT Cup quarter-final matches at various centers across the country. Niger Tornadoes meet Sloby Stars, Heartland welcomes Katsina United, Kogi United takes on Kano Pillars, while Wiki Tourist squares up against Nasarawa United. 2 volleyball, 10 youth volleyball clubs in Lagos State participated at this year's edition of the Samaritan Feet Summer Slam program, which ended at the Teslim Balogun Stadium, Lagos. The grassroots program featured beginners program and a training competition which lasted for a week. The program was in 2 categories, on the 13th and on the 15th, for boys and girls.
Using this one to groom the children from the beginning, from different homes that they have futures in volleyball.
Now to grassroots golf. Ikoyi Golf Club have emerged the winner of the maiden edition of the Western Golf Challenge. They defeated 12 other teams from the Western region with 335 cumulative score points over 2 days to win the first prize, and pushed Ikeje Golf Club with 330 cumulative score points to the second position.
Western competition is an added value to the development of the game.
Apart from the national competition, we intend going to the schools to have the cadets.
Kadir Aminu of Timilorin won the longest drive prize award, while Yusuf Adamu of Ekiti Golf Club smiled home with the prize for the nearest to the pinhole 15. With sports update, Gift George, NTA News.
That's it on Panorama, but before we go, do not forget that the fastest and easiest way to becoming a star is to connect with the NTA to stand against rape and rapists. I am Adeola Kumiakere. Enjoy the rest of your day.